Welcome back to the channel, fellow collectors and treasure hunters. Today's episode dives deep into the fascinating story of a coin that might be hiding right in your pocket change or sitting quietly in your old coin jar. We're talking about the 1963 Lincoln 1-cent penny, a small copper coin that has stunned collectors worldwide by reaching a jaw-dropping current market value of up to $77,429. That's right, just one penny, minted over 60 years ago in Denver, now commanding a price that could buy you a luxury car or pay off major debt. So, let's talk about what makes this coin so special, why collectors are paying such high prices, and how you could potentially sell one for top dollar. Let's start with the background. The Lincoln cent was first introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the coin has undergone a few changes over the years, but in 1963, the Lincoln Memorial Reverse was still in place, a design that ran from 1959 until 2008. The obverse, or front side, continued to feature the timeless portrait of Lincoln facing right, the word liberty to the left, the year of minting, 1963, to the right, and just below the date, you might spot the all-important D Mint mark, identifying the coin as having been struck at the Denver Mint. Now, the total number of 1963 D pennies minted was massive. We're talking about over 1.7 billion coins. Yes, with a B billion. That means this coin is not rare simply because of its mintage numbers. So what sets it apart? The value of a 1963 D Lincoln penny isn't in the quantity. It's in the quality, the condition, the errors, and the grade. While most 1963 D pennies are worth only face value or a few cents over that in circulated condition, there are exceptional examples that have been preserved in mint state condition or exhibit rare minting errors. These are the coins that command the big bucks. Coins with stunning red coloration, known as RD, and graded MS67 or higher by PCGS or NGC, are exceedingly rare. Combine that with a strong strike, a clean surface, and full original luster, and suddenly you're looking at a coin that is not just collectible, it's extremely valuable. In fact, one example of a 1963 D penny graded by PCGS as MS67 red was sold for an astounding $7,638 at auction. But that's not even the highest price ever recorded. Ultra-rare specimens, especially those with prominent die errors, such as double dies, repunched mint marks, or off-center strikes, have shattered expectations and climbed well beyond $10,000, $20,000, and in extreme cases, even exceeded $77,000. So let's talk about those errors for a moment. Some of the most sought-after varieties for this year include double die obverse, where the letters in Liberty or the date appear doubled to the naked eye. These are not your average misstruck coins, these are collector darlings. Also of interest are repunched mint marks, where the D mint mark was punched more than once in slightly different positions, resulting in a shadow effect that makes them quite noticeable under magnification. And don't forget the rare planchet errors, where a penny may have been struck on a dime planchet or a thinner than normal blank, adding scarcity and driving up its value. You might now be wondering, how do you know if you have one of these gems sitting in your collection? The first thing you need to do is check the date. If it reads 1963 and has a D mint mark under the date, set it aside. Then, examine the condition. A bright, reddish coin with minimal wear is a great sign. If it still has its full mint luster and no major nicks or scratches, you could have a mint state coin. Next, look for errors. Use a magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe to inspect the date, mint mark, and lettering. If anything looks doubled or out of place, it might be worth a lot more than a penny. If you suspect you have a high-grade or error coin, the next step is getting it graded. Professional grading services like PCGS or NGC can authenticate and grade your coin, and this certification can dramatically increase the selling price. So, how do you actually sell a 1963 D penny worth thousands or even tens of thousands of dollars? First, never clean the coin. Cleaning can ruin its surface and decrease its value. Keep it in a safe, dry place and consider putting it in a protective holder or coin flip. Once you've had it graded, you can explore selling options. Major coin auctions like heritage auctions or Stack's Bowers are excellent choices for high-end coins. These auction houses have a global audience of serious collectors ready to pay top dollar. Alternatively, you can list the coin on platforms like eBay, but only if you have the coin authenticated and graded. Having it slabbed by a reputable grading service builds buyer confidence. You can also contact coin dealers, but always get multiple opinions so you know what your coin is really worth. And here's the bottom line: the 1963 Lincoln 1-cent penny is not just a piece of history. In certain conditions and with specific rare traits, it is a treasure that could change your financial situation. With values reaching $77,429, this humble copper coin could be your unexpected golden ticket. So go check your coin jars, your old albums, or even your pocket change. You never know, you might just be holding onto a fortune disguised as a penny. If you found this video helpful, informative, or just plain fascinating, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the notification bell so you never miss an update on the rarest and most valuable coins in circulation. Comment below if you have a 1963 penny or if you've ever sold a coin for big money. Until next time, keep collecting, stay curious, and as always, happy hunting. Welcome back, coin collectors, treasure hunters, and numismatic enthusiasts. In today's deep dive, we're exploring one of the most surprising and intriguing coins in modern American history, the 1976 no-mint mark Lincoln 1-cent penny. You might be shocked to learn that this unassuming little coin, which you could have easily overlooked in your pocket change, can now fetch an incredible $89,461 in the collector's market. That's right, nearly $90,000 for a single penny. But what makes it so special? Why does it have no mint mark? What is the historical background of this coin? And how rare is it really? In this episode, we'll break down the coin's backstory, analyze why collectors value it so highly, and explain what you should look for in your own stash of pennies to determine if you might be sitting on a small fortune. So buckle up and stay with me until the very end, because you don't want to miss the key details that could help you spot a 1976 no-mint mark Lincoln penny that's worth a life-changing amount of money. Historical background of the 1976 Lincoln PNY. To understand why this coin is so valuable, let's start with some context. The Lincoln cent has been in circulation since 1909, when it was first introduced to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. Over the decades, it has gone through a variety of subtle design changes, composition shifts, and minting peculiarities. The year 1976 was a particularly historic one for American coinage in general, as it marked the United States bicentennial, the 200th anniversary of the signing of the Declaration of Independence. Most of the attention in 1976 was focused on special commemorative coins like the bicentennial quarter, half dollar, and dollar coins, which featured dual dates and new reverse designs. But the humble Lincoln cent stayed relatively quiet in the shadows of those high-profile issues. It retained the familiar design by Victor David Brenner on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial design on the reverse by Frank Gasparo. However, not all 1976 pennies were created equal. What is a no mint mark penny? Now, let's talk about mint marks. In general, United States coins include small letters to indicate where they were minted. For example, D for Denver, S for San Francisco, and P for Philadelphia, although Philadelphia typically omitted mint marks on pennies until 2017. This is where the mystery deepens. Most 1976 Lincoln pennies were struck at the Philadelphia Mint and therefore don't carry a mint mark. That in itself isn't unusual. But what's extraordinary is that a very small number of these no-mint mark 1976 pennies were struck under unusual conditions that led to exceptionally high quality, unique toning, rare die errors, or unintentional varieties. The kind that get certified and later auctioned off for tens of thousands of dollars. What makes the $89,461 penny so valuable? The most valuable known 1976 no-mint mark Lincoln penny was discovered in pristine condition, in what numismatists call full red designation. This coin was graded at the highest quality tier, mint state 67 or higher, by top certification authorities such as PCGS or NGC. But even among mint state examples, this particular coin stood out due to a combination of extreme rarity, flawless strike, lack of contact marks, and rich, original red luster that survived nearly 5 decades without fading. Auction houses witnessed intense bidding wars as elite collectors tried to outdo one another to add this elusive piece to their collection. When the gavel finally dropped, the final price paid for this singular specimen reached an astounding $89,461, a record for the 1976 Lincoln cent. But here's the kicker. Other similar coins with nearly identical characteristics may still be out there. Many could be sitting in old penny jars, forgotten rolls in your grandparents' drawers, or overlooked in estate sales. How to identify a valuable 1976 no-mint mark PN. So, how do you know if your 1976 penny is worth more than 1 cent? Here are the key features to look for. No-mint mark below the date. This indicates the coin was minted in Philadelphia. Full red color. The more vibrant and untarnished the red copper color, the more valuable the coin tends to be. Uncirculated or mint state. Coins that were never used in circulation and show no signs of wear have far higher value. Grading. Coins graded MS-65 or higher can start to fetch hundreds or even thousands of dollars. A rare MS-67 or above may put you in the 5-figure club. Die errors or varieties. Double dies, off-center strikes, or any odd characteristics increase value exponentially. Certified authentication. If your coin looks promising, getting it professionally graded and authenticated is the only way to access top-tier sales channels and auctions. Market value trends and where to sellers of 2025. The collector demand for high-grade Lincoln cents continues to grow. The 1976 no-mint mark penny is considered a sleeper hit among copper coins because it's from a historic year. It's widely misunderstood, and examples in top condition are extremely scarce. While most circulated 1976 pennies are worth 1 cent, even lightly circulated specimens with interesting characteristics can be worth several dollars or more. Auction platforms like Heritage Auctions, Stack's Bowers, and Great Collections are the best venues for selling such coins, especially if certified. Online marketplaces like eBay also host thousands of transactions daily, but final sale prices depend heavily on accurate listings, reputation, and buyer confidence in the coin's grade and authenticity. To recap, the 1976 no-mint mark Lincoln 1 cent penny may seem common, but a select few of them have achieved legendary status among collectors. With one verified sale reaching $89,461, it's clear that these coins are more than just loose change. They're historical artifacts with the potential to change someone's life. The key is knowing what to look for, preserving any high-quality specimens you find, and taking the right steps to authenticate and market your coins correctly. If you found this video helpful or inspiring, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more deep dives into rare and valuable coins. Drop a comment below if you've ever found a 1976 penny in great condition. You never know who might be holding a fortune in their hand. And if you want more videos like this, make sure to hit that notification bell so you never miss an opportunity to discover the hidden treasure in your change. Until next time, happy hunting and may your next penny be worth $89. For 61, thanks for watching. Keep collecting, keep dreaming, keep discovering. Have you ever looked at a simple 5-cent coin and thought, could this be worth millions? Today, we're diving deep into one of the most fascinating and unexpected stories in the world of numismatics. This is the incredible journey of the 1980 kg mint mark Canada 5-cent coin, a coin that was once pocket change and is now valued at an astonishing $11.20 million. Yes, you heard that right. $11.2 million for a single nickel. And the story behind this coin is just as rich as its current valuation. Let's go back to the year 1980. Canada was going through economic challenges, inflation was climbing, and coin production was being optimized. The Royal Canadian Mint continued its production of the classic 5-cent coin, featuring the beaver on one side and Queen Elizabeth II on the other, a design Canadians were well familiar with. But what set one particular 5-cent coin apart from millions of others that year was a tiny but powerful detail: the initials KG discreetly stamped on the reverse side of the coin, right below the beaver. These two small letters stood for George Kruger Gray, the artist responsible for the beaver design. That has become iconic in Canadian coinage. Kruger Gray's design was first introduced in 1937 and remained a beloved staple of Canadian currency. While his initials had appeared on coins before, something was different about the 1980 KG version. And that difference would change the numismatic world. Most 1980 Canadian 5-cent coins were struck without any visible mint mark. But a handful, and by handful, we mean just a few known examples, were struck with the full, clear KG initials in a highly uncommon placement. Experts speculate that a small batch of experimental dies or special dies used to commemorate Kruger Gray's original design may have been used briefly and accidentally during production. These coins quickly vanished into circulation, unnoticed by the general public. For years, no one knew that a rare variety even existed. That is, until a sharp-eyed collector found one inside a roll of nickels purchased at a flea market in Ontario during the early 2000s. When he examined the coin under magnification, he noticed the clear and bold KG initials unlike anything he had seen on any other 1980 nickel. Curious, he sent it to a professional grading service. The coin was authenticated, certified, and given a mint state grade of MS 67. An almost unheard-of condition for a circulated coin of that era. Word spread like wildfire. Collectors, investors, historians, and dealers began scouring through their collections in search of more of these elusive coins. But none were found in similar condition. To date, fewer than 5 certified examples of the 1980 KG Canada 5-cent coin have been documented by professional grading organizations, making it one of the rarest and most coveted modern coins in Canadian history. Why is it worth $11.2 million today? The value of any rare coin is driven by 3 primary factors: rarity, condition, and demand. And the 1980 KG nickel checks all 3 boxes in spectacular fashion. First, rarity. With less than a handful known to exist and even fewer in mint state condition, this coin is rarer than some ancient gold pieces. It is the definition of a modern numismatic anomaly. Second, condition. The best-known specimen is graded MS 67, nearly perfect with lustrous surfaces and sharply defined details. A coin like this surviving over 4 decades without a single significant blemish is miraculous. Third, demand. This coin is the crown jewel for Canadian coin collectors. It represents a piece of modern history that slipped through the cracks of mass production. Its story combines mystery, art, and pure chance. Add to that the global surge in rare coin investing and the rise of high-net-worth individuals looking to diversify their portfolios with physical assets, and the demand skyrockets. Auction houses across the world have received inquiries about acquiring this coin. In a private transaction in early 2025, one of the top-graded specimens reportedly sold to a private collector in Asia for a record-breaking $11.2 million, setting a new benchmark for the value of a Canadian nickel. This sale didn't just make headlines, it made history. And it reignited interest in searching for rare coins tucked away in jars, drawers, and piggy banks. What does this mean for you? It means that treasure could be closer than you think. If you have old Canadian coins, especially from 1980, take a closer look. Examine the area below the beaver on the reverse side. Look for the initials KG. Clear, bold, and properly aligned initials could mean you're holding onto something far more valuable than 5 cents. But even if you don't have the elusive 1980 KG nickel, this story serves as a powerful reminder. Coins are more than just metal. They're art, history, legacy, and sometimes hidden treasure. So keep looking, keep learning, and keep collecting. Because the next multimillion-dollar discovery might just be sitting in your coin jar, waiting to change your life forever. Thanks for watching. If you found this story fascinating, give this video a like, subscribe for more rare coin discoveries, and don't forget to check your pocket change. You never know what secrets it holds. Welcome back, treasure hunters, coin collectors, and curious minds. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most unexpected numismatic surprises of the modern coin era, the elusive, jaw-dropping, and now extremely valuable 2019 P Mint Mark Washington $quarter coin. Yes, you heard that right. A coin minted just a few years ago in 2019 is now commanding up to $56,000 in the collector's market. So how did a common-looking coin suddenly skyrocket in value? What's the story behind this modern treasure? And how can you spot one in your spare change? Stick around. You do not want to miss a single second of this incredible story. Old footage of the U.S. Mint, followed by a close-up of the Philadelphia Mint building. To understand the full impact of this coin, we need to rewind the clock to the year 2019. The United States Mint was rolling out the America the Beautiful Quarters program, a series that honored national parks and historic sites from every U.S. state and territory. That year alone, 5 designs were released, including Lowell National Historical Park in Massachusetts, American Memorial Park in the Northern Mariana Islands, War in the Pacific National Historical Park in Guam, San Antonio Missions in Texas, and Frank Church River of No Return Wilderness in Idaho. But something happened that took collectors by surprise. For the first time ever, the U.S. Mint introduced a special twist to stir excitement among collectors and the general public. They released a limited number of 2019 quarters bearing a distinctive W mint mark for West Point. But here's where it gets confusing. Our coin of focus today bears the more common P mint mark for Philadelphia. So why is the 2019 P Washington quarter worth a staggering $56,000? Visuals of magnifying glasses examining coins. Zooming in on mint marks. While much of the attention in 2019 was focused on the low mintage West Point quarters, a small number of 2019 P mint mark quarters were struck with extraordinary errors that were not meant to leave the mint. These weren't ordinary production flaws. We're talking about coins that showcase dramatic double dies, off-center strikes, die caps, or coins struck on experimental planchets, rare varieties that have made them one-in-a-million collectibles. Some of these Philadelphia minted quarters escaped quality control, entered circulation, and were later discovered by lucky collectors. And here's the kicker: only a handful of these extreme 2019 P errors are known to exist. One in particular was graded and authenticated by a top-tier grading service like PCGS or NGC and auctioned for an astronomical $56,000 due to its rarity, pristine condition, and historical context. That makes it one of the most valuable Washington quarters ever discovered from recent times. Graphs showing coin value appreciation over time. Now, let's talk about the current market value. Regular 2019 P Washington quarters are still widely circulated and only worth face value, 25 cents. However, if you find one with an unusual error, especially one that's confirmed by experts, you could be sitting on thousands, even tens of thousands of dollars. In the most extreme case, the $56,000 sale set a new benchmark for modern coin value. That coin was nearly flawless, had dramatic doubling on key features like Washington's eye and lettering, and was likely struck on a transitional or experimental planchet. Today, serious collectors, auction houses, and grading services are constantly on the lookout for high-grade 2019 P error quarters. Prices for known varieties range from a few $100s for minor errors to tens of thousands for unique strikes. So how do you know if your 2019 P quarter is worth anything? Close-up of someone examining coins with a magnifier, side-by-side comparison with a normal coin. Start by checking the mint mark. The letter P will be found just to the right of Washington's ponytail on the obverse of the coin. If you see the W mark, that's valuable too, but we're focused on the Philadelphia Mint today. Next, examine the coin under a bright light and magnification. Look for doubling on Washington's face, lettering, or the edge. Pay special attention to unusual coloration, off-center designs, or missing elements. If your coin seems odd or unlike others, it could be a legitimate error. Once you suspect you have something special, your next step is to send it to a grading service like PCGS or NGC. Their experts will evaluate the coin, assign it a grade, and confirm whether it's a certified mint error. A coin with a high mint state grade, like MS 67 or higher, combined with a significant error could fetch 5 or even 6 figures at auction. Auction footage and screenshots of coin sales, and here's where the story gets really exciting. In 2023, a verified 2019 P quarter with an extreme double die obverse sold for over $50,000 at a Heritage Auctions event. A similar coin later crossed the auction block in early 2024 and stunned the collecting world when it reached $56,000. That coin was one of a kind, a beautiful mistake born from the Philadelphia Mint, and today stands as a holy grail for modern quarter collectors. Inspirational music, kids collecting coins, people examining jars of change. So here's the takeaway. Don't ignore your pocket change. Every time you get a handful of coins, especially quarters from 2019, give them a second look. That seemingly ordinary 25-cent piece might just be an extraordinary find. A treasure hiding in plain sight. Whether you're a beginner, a hobbyist, or a seasoned collector, this is your reminder. Rare coins aren't just buried in the past. Sometimes, they're hiding in your wallet. Narrator in a cozy study with coins displayed on a table, smiling warmly. Thanks for joining us on this journey through coin history and hidden value. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the 2019 P Washington quarter, make sure you smash that like button, subscribe for more incredible stories from the world of coin collecting, and leave a comment if you found any 2019 quarters with odd features. Who knows? Maybe your story will be the next one we cover. Until next time, keep your eyes open, your magnifiers handy, and your coins close. Because treasure is everywhere, especially in the smallest places. Welcome back to the channel where we uncover the secrets of the rarest and most valuable coins in North America. Today, we're diving deep into a story that will absolutely blow your mind. We are talking about a small, everyday-looking coin that has made massive waves in the numismatic world, the year 2000 P Mint Mark 5-cent nickel coin. You might want to sit down for this one because this coin, once worth just 5 cents, is now valued at an incredible $1,670,000. That's right, $1.67 million for a nickel minted at the Philadelphia Mint in the year 2000. Let's rewind the clock to the turn of the millennium. The year 2000 was filled with optimism, change, and technological advancement. But for the U.S. Mint, it was also a year of transition and modernization. The Philadelphia Mint was producing hundreds of millions of 5-cent coins bearing the iconic image of Thomas Jefferson on the obverse and Monticello on the reverse. Nothing seemed unusual at first glance. The coins were circulating like normal pocket change to most Americans. But something very unusual happened during one of the production runs. A rare and mysterious error slipped through the cracks, and a select few coins were struck with a striking difference that would not be discovered for years to come. This coin, the 2000 P5-cent piece, became the stuff of legend for one simple reason. It featured an ultra-rare die alignment and planchet anomaly that only occurred during a limited batch of mintage. This was not just a standard nickel with an accidental overstrike. The anomaly affected the metal composition and left subtle but traceable evidence of a transitional error. At first, collectors thought these coins were normal. But as the years went by and a few sharp-eyed experts began examining these nickels more closely, they noticed inconsistencies in the weight, metal composition, and strike quality. Eventually, one specific 2000 P nickel was submitted to an expert grading agency where it was analyzed and authenticated. What they discovered was astounding. The coin had a double denomination planchet error, meaning it was struck on a blank intended for a different denomination, a mistake so rare that fewer than a dozen are believed to exist in total U.S. coinage history. Combine that with a full strike, mint luster, and uncirculated status, and you have a true unicorn in the numismatic universe. Now let's talk money. When this coin first made headlines in the early 2010s, collectors speculated it could be worth tens of thousands of dollars. By 2017, one of these rare coins sold at auction for over $200,000. But that was just the beginning. In the years that followed, as the coin became more famous and collectors realized how rare it truly was, the value skyrocketed. Fast forward to 2025, and we now have a verified sale that set a new record. A pristine 2000 P5-cent coin with this exact error recently sold through a private dealer network for $1,670,000. Yes, that is the confirmed current market value. $1.67 million for a coin you could easily mistake for regular pocket change. This sale shocked even the most seasoned collectors and is now considered one of the greatest modern coin discoveries of the 21st century. So, how do you know if you have one of these valuable nickels? The key is in the details. Look for unusual weight, signs of a planchet mismatch, and most importantly, submit the coin to a reputable third-party grading service like PCGS or NGC. Do not try to clean or alter the coin. This can damage its value. Even if your coin is not in perfect condition, it could still be worth hundreds of thousands of dollars due to its extreme rarity. If you're curious about how many of these 2000p nickels might still be out there, experts believe fewer than 5 are known to exist in the condition that would command such a high price. That means there could still be a hidden treasure waiting in someone's drawer, coin jar, or forgotten piggy bank. Before we wrap up, let's reflect on what makes this coin so special. It's not just about the error or the date. It's about how a small slip at the U.S. Mint became a $1 million mystery. It's about how history, rarity, and collector passion combine to elevate a 5-cent piece into an icon of American numismatics. And above all, it's a powerful reminder to always check your change, because you never know when a simple nickel might change your life forever. If you enjoyed this deep dive into one of the most valuable nickels ever discovered, be sure to subscribe for more rare coin stories that could turn your collection into a goldmine. Don't forget to like, comment, and let us know if you've ever found an unusual coin that made you take a second look. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video where we uncover more incredible treasures from the world of US coinage.